Amazon is about to spend more money in India than the annual GDP of dozens of countries. The company has announced an additional $13 billion investment in artificial intelligence and cloud infrastructure, bringing its planned investment in India between 2026 and 2030 to $48 billion. Combined with previous commitments, Amazon's cumulative investment in India from 2010 to 2030 will exceed $88 billion. At first glance, this looks like a business story. A technology giant sees opportunity in a fast-growing market and decides to expand. But that interpretation misses the bigger picture. What Amazon is really doing is placing one of the largest corporate bets in modern history on India's future. Amazon is not simply building warehouses or opening offices, it is helping build the infrastructure that could power India's digital economy for decades. And that makes this story much bigger than Amazon itself. To understand why, we first need to understand what was actually announced. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy met Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi and unveiled plans to invest an additional $13 billion in AI and cloud infrastructure. The money will primarily expand Amazon Web Services or AWS data center capacity in Mumbai and Hyderabad. These facilities will provide startups, corporations, government agencies, and developers access to advanced cloud computing, artificial intelligence services, custom AI chips, and digital infrastructure. At the same time, Amazon plans to continue expanding its logistics network. The company intends to open more than 20 new fulfillment centers and over 100 new last-mile delivery stations across India. Much of that expansion will focus on smaller cities and underserved regions. Amazon says it has already digitized 12 million small businesses in India, supported 2.8 million jobs, enabled over $20 billion in e-commerce exports, and trained more than 10 million Indians in cloud skills. Now the company wants to take that transformation much further, and that brings us to the first major revelation. For years, investors viewed India primarily as a consumer market. The logic was simple. India has a population of more than 1.4 billion people, a growing middle class, rising internet penetration, and increasing digital adoption. But Amazon's latest investment suggests something bigger. The company is no longer investing merely because Indians buy products online. It is investing because India is becoming a critical part of the global AI economy. Artificial intelligence requires three things: talent, data, and computing power. India already possesses enormous pools of engineering talent. It produces hundreds of thousands of STEM graduates every year, it has one of the world's largest software workforces, and it has become a major center for global technology services. What India historically lacked was sufficient large-scale computing infrastructure. That gap is now being filled. Every new AWS data center increases India's ability to train AI models, deploy AI applications, host cloud services, and support digital businesses. In simple terms, Amazon is helping build the digital factories of the AI age. And that leads directly to the second revelation. Technology infrastructure has become a strategic asset. 20 years ago, countries competed over oil pipelines, ports, and manufacturing facilities. Today, they compete over semiconductor production, AI computing power, cloud infrastructure, and digital ecosystems. That is why Amazon's investment matters far beyond corporate earnings. The United States and China are engaged in an increasingly intense competition for technological leadership. Artificial intelligence sits at the center of that contest. India occupies a unique position in this rivalry. Unlike China, India remains deeply integrated with Western technology companies. Unlike many smaller economies, India possesses both the scale and talent necessary to become a major technology power in its own right. As a result, American companies increasingly view India as a strategic partner. Microsoft is investing heavily in AI infrastructure. Google continues expanding its presence. NVIDIA works closely with Indian firms and institutions. Now Amazon is dramatically increasing its commitment as well. This creates a powerful alignment of interests. India wants technology, investment, jobs, and digital capabilities. American companies want growth, talent, and a trusted market outside China. Both sides benefit. The result is a technology partnership that continues to deepen every year. But infrastructure alone does not explain why Amazon is spending this much money. The third revelation may be the most important. Most discussions about AI focus on futuristic technologies. But Amazon's strategy focuses on something much more practical: productivity. When small businesses gain access to cloud services, they operate more efficiently. When logistics networks improve, goods move faster. When digital payment systems expand, economic activity becomes easier. When AI tools become accessible, businesses can automate tasks and serve customers more effectively. Amazon understands that India's economic growth story remains far from complete. Hundreds of millions of people continue moving into the formal economy. Millions of small businesses still have opportunities to digitize operations. Vast regions of the country remain underdeveloped compared to major metropolitan centers. That is why Amazon's expansion targets Tier 3 and Tier 4 cities, rather than only major urban hubs. The company believes the next phase of Indian growth will come from regions that global investors often overlook. This is not a short-term strategy. Amazon openly describes its approach as long-term thinking. The company expects India's digital economy to expand significantly over the coming decades. If that happens, today's data centers, delivery networks, cloud services, and AI platforms will become the foundation of future growth. And that brings us to the broader implications. For India, this investment strengthens the country's ambition to become a global technology powerhouse. The benefits extend beyond Amazon itself. New infrastructure attracts startups. Startups attract talent. Talent attracts additional investment. Over time, these effects reinforce each other and create entire innovation ecosystems. For Asia, the announcement reinforces India's growing importance as an economic and technological center of gravity. Many multinational corporations now view India not merely as an alternative market, but as a central pillar of their global strategy. For the United States, the investment demonstrates how American companies are helping shape strategic partnerships through technology and capital rather than traditional diplomacy alone. And for the rest of the world, this signals an important shift. The future competition between major powers will not depend only on military strength or natural resources. It will increasingly depend on who controls computing power, AI infrastructure, cloud networks, digital platforms, and technological ecosystems. Countries that attract those investments will gain enormous advantages. Countries that fail to do so risk falling behind. If you want more geopolitical analysis on the forces reshaping the global economy and international power, make sure to subscribe to the International Desk.